I want to quickly talk to you about how to start a clothing boutique online with no money and no inventory. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you're to ask me. If you are doing as superb as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to talk to you about how to open a lucrative clothing boutique online with no money and no inventory. Yes, it is possible to do it. And I'm going to give you 10 steps, 10 very easy steps to turn your dream into reality. Number one, you need to decide what to sell. It sounds easy, but it's not. Because if you want your online boutique to be a success, you have to make sales, obviously, right? So before you start thinking about bringing in money, you need to first decide exactly what your boutique will sell. In other words, find your niche. It may be actually very tempting to go overboard and carry a little something for everyone, right? You're trying to corner the whole market. But check this out. In the early stages of starting an online business, it is wiser actually to start small and honing on one particular area. You want to actually niche down, because if your focus is too broad, you're not really appealing to anybody. You are trying to satisfy everyone, and the result is, guess what? Nobody will be interested. So let me give you an example. If your focus is on designer clothes, you want to plan to carry only women's clothing or only children's clothing. Or maybe you want your boutique to feature custom jewelry and accessories, right? In that case, don't muddy the waters with random sweaters and leggings. So once you've got a broad overview of the customers you want to attract, it's time to narrow down your niche even further. For example, do you want to offer affordable yet trendy styles for the 13 to 16 or 18 crowd? Or would you rather sell high-end classic pieces for professional women? It's all about niching down. All right. So you want to start small. If your boutique, let's say your boutique becomes a success and you see a demand for other products, add them. But for now, you want to take the time to find out what's a hit and what's a miss, and trying to be very, very focused. Step number one, decide what to sell. Step number two, you want to write a business plan. Whether you operate a traditional retail store or an online boutique, there is one thing all businesses need. You need a great business plan. I want you to think of a business plan as a map for your business. So you're actually outlining your goals and the steps you'll take to reach those goals, right? So a solid business plan is kind of critical for your clothing boutique online, because especially if you are going to seek financing from investors or traditional lenders like banks or credit unions, you need to have a clear roadmap. And that's what a business plan is, a roadmap. So at a minimum, you want to have a business plan that includes things like executive summary, company description, market overview, sales and marketing strategy, operating plan, organization and management team, and financials. Remember, you can actually outsource the writing of the business plan to professionals on the internet, professionals on websites such as Fiverr, Upwork, and Freelancer. You can download also some pretty well-designed templates for free from the internet and write your own plan, or you can even get software tools such as LivePlan and BasePlan that allow you actually to write a business plan. Step number three, folks, you need to source inventory. Very important. You need to source the inventory. Now, once you have your niche selected and your business plan in place, you're getting closer to opening your boutique, right? But before you launch your website and begin to make sales, you have to find out how to get inventory for your online store. There are a few ways to source inventory. You can source from a wholesaler. There are pros and cons when you source from a wholesaler. What are the pros here? When you get your inventory from a wholesaler, it's a great way to purchase in bulk at a reduced rate. Wholesalers are easy to find online, and you have more control over shipping and branding. What about the cons? You need to actually qualify for minimum purchase requirements, and they can be expensive. So through a wholesaler, you can purchase items in bulk at a reduced rate, and typically the more you purchase, the more you save. And wholesale suppliers can easily be found in the United States and overseas with a quick online search. Let's talk about also drop shipping your products. What are the pros and cons here? Now, let me first explain what drop shipping is. With drop shipping, a third-party supplier fulfills the orders of your customers. So your customer places an order, the order is manually or automatically sent to your supplier, and the supplier is responsible for packing and shipping the order to your customer. And so what are the pros and cons here? Less work because the supplier handles packing and shipping for you. There are no additional expenses because for packing and shipping supplies. So you can focus on branding and drumming up a business on your side. What are the cons here? You have no control over branding and personalization. You can brand your business, but you can't brand the items that you're shipping to your customers. And another disadvantage here is that you are liable for mistakes made by the supplier. The customer doesn't care whether or not the package was shipped from a supplier. They care about you as a brand. So those are things you have to think about, and it's something that, and again, if something goes wrong, you are ultimately the face of your brand, and you will be liable. If the wrong item is sent or there is another issue with an order, this reflects poorly on you and your business, even if it's the supplier's fault. So no matter what route you take, drop shipping or direct sourcing, it's important to properly vet any supplier you are using for your boutique. You want to request samples to check out the quality of products. You want to find out if you'll have a dedicated contact to reach when there is a problem, and you want to work with reputable businesses with a history of success in their industry. The fourth element I want you to focus right now is to register your business. I want you to focus on that right now. If you need to choose a business structure, here you have the choice between a sole proprietorship, an LLC, and you can also operate as a corporation, a C corporation, or an S corporation, right? And this could be a great idea if you plan to bring on investors, outside investors down the road. And but it's wiser, based on our research, to take a few extra steps to set up an LLC, a limited liability company, because this kind of a legal structure will protect you in most cases from being held liable for your business's debt. And once you do this, you want to file state paperwork, okay? And to form an LLC or corporation, you will file paperwork with the states. And for most business owners, this will be the states where you live and the business is formed, although a few states such as Delaware have incentives for out-of-state businesses to register with them. And you not only file documents within the states, but also pay a filing fee, which varies by state. Think also about getting an EIN from the IRS. EIN stands for Employer Identification Number, and you can get this number online by going to the IRS's website, or you can actually mail or you can fax your information. You want to take care of your finances, and once you have the EIN, you're able to open a bank account, a business bank account. So you're able to separate personal assets from business assets. Very important. You want to keep your business finances separate from your personal finances. You want to cover your butt because something happens, you get sued, your company gets sued. You want to be able to actually, you want to cover your back. You want to also think about meeting sales tax and licensing requirements. As an online seller, and this is very important, folks, you will have to contact and pay sales tax for transactions that occur within your states. And you can learn more about the requirements in your area by calling your state tax department. And one thing you also want to do is consult with city or county authorities to find out about business licensing requirements in your area. And once you have that, step number 5, you need to create an online store. So if you want to run a lucrative online boutique, it's important to choose the right e-commerce platform. So your shopping cart software serves as a storefront for your customers while also providing you with the back-end tools you need to keep your business operating smoothly. And so there are multiple platforms to choose from, and you can narrow down your choices by considering what factors are most important to you, such as pricing, add-ons, and features. ease of use, and design options. Okay, so think about platforms such as BigCommerce, Shopify, Square Online Store, and Squarespace. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Studio Kiwi Show. We are still having a conversation here about how to start a lucrative clothing boutique online with no money and no inventory. And number 6. So, folks, first you need to decide what to sell. You need to write a business plan. You need to source inventory. You need to register your business. You need to create an online store. And number 6, you need to choose a payment and shopping cart solution. So before launching your online boutique, you'll need to set up your payment processor, right? Because this would allow your customers to pay for the products in their shopping carts. And many e-commerce platforms come equipped with tools for shipping and payments, including things like shipping calculators, built-in payment processors, and dropship integration. So I'm going to give you a series of about 7 players right now that you might want to consider in terms of your payment and shopping cart solution. So first we have Authorize.net. They've been around for the last 20 years, 25 years. So they have actually time to build up the feature set that comes with a gateway. And they can, with the Authorize.net, you can accept all major credit cards, debit cards. They accept e-checks and ACH payments. They accept PayPal, Apple Pay, and Google Pay. They accept international transactions. But your business must be based in the US, Canada, UK, Europe, or Australia. And they also offer advanced fraud protection tools. You also have a 2 checkout, and it's now Verifone. And this platform offers very strong international processing capabilities because it can process payments from over 200 countries worldwide. And 2 checkout accounts come with a large set of services, but it also has a higher pricing to match all the extras you'll get. So depending on your plan, you'll get some or all of the following services. So you can take payments in 200 countries or more, shopping cart integration, checkout page can be boosted. You can actually you can host the checkout page with a checkout or integrate it with your website. You have recurring billing, fraud protection tools, and online store builder. Number 3, you have Stripe. Stripe is actually a third-party processor that specializes in e-commerce, and since you can't process e-commerce online payments without a gateway, a free payment gateway comes with your Stripe account. All right. You also have number 4, PayPal. PayPal needs no introduction, and the cool thing about PayPal is that it's a pay-as-you-go pricing with no monthly fees. You have a simple flat rate pricing for standard accounts. It's easy to set up and you can begin accept payments right away, and they have an international reach. You also have Braintree, and Braintree is actually a traditional merchant account provider that is owned by PayPal. And Braintree is e-commerce focused, so it provides a free payment gateway with every merchant account. So this is something you have to think about. And Braintree has no account setup fee, no monthly fee, no gateway fees, no long-term contract, and you can have and there is an early termination. You can terminate early with no problem. You might also want to think about Amazon Pay, another great player here. With Amazon Pay, you can take credit card payments while staying on your site, collect donations, you can set up recurring billing, and you can integrate with third-party shopping carts. And last but not the least, we have Adyen. Adyen is kind of cool too because they are ideal for international merchant, no setup or application fees, and there's no monthly fees. Adyen. Next, I want you to build your website, and I want you to really take this step very importantly. So what you think about a brick and mortar store, it's the same thing as when you have an online boutique. Would you walk into a store that is cluttered and disorganized? No, right? It doesn't sound tempting, doesn't look tempting. Well, guess what? It's the same thing when it comes to an online boutique. You want to have an organized, streamlined, seamless, well-designed, very good-looking website. But the cool thing here is you don't have to spend hours on this. You can do this nowadays. There are so many solutions out there, so many affordable and very, very professional looking solutions out there that you really have to spend some time to get this right. You need to choose the right website builder solution. If you're not an experienced web designer, you don't need, you can still get a professional looking website. There are plenty of great website builders available online, from Shopify to Wix to Squarespace to, I mean, we've covered this topic on other shows, to Weebly, to GoDaddy. There are a lot of applications out there. You can even also outsource the design of your website to a professional on the internet, right? There are freelancer websites such as Freelancer, Upwork, or Fiverr, where you can actually hire someone who is really great and get you a good website. It's very important to understand that when building your website, you need to keep in mind your branding and your audience. You want your website to reflect the type of items you sell in your boutique. So if you cater to the professional male, a pink floral theme, for example, will completely miss the mark, right? And you also want to make sure your website is user-friendly. Very important. User-friendliness is kind of critical because people don't have time. The attention span nowadays is very limited. So you want people to see everything right away. So you want to categorize your products so they're easy to find. You want to add in high quality photos of your products and detailed descriptions. And in a brick and mortar store, customers are able to touch, try on, and inspect items before they purchase. With online shopping, customers have to rely on photos and descriptions to ensure they are making the right purchase. So you want to make sure your customers know exactly what they're purchasing to keep customer satisfaction high. And that should be the goal. Okay. And another important step is creating your website by choosing the right domain name. There are a few key points to remember here. First, make sure your company name is front and center. You also want to keep your domain name as short as possible, right? Avoid adding numbers and hyphens. You just want to keep things simple to make it easier for customers to find you. Finally, make sure that your contact info is prominently featured on your website. So if your customers have questions about your products or have a problem with an order, they need a way to get in touch with your business. Step number 8, you want to think about establishing shipping logistics. It's very important to think about that. You want to reevaluate your shipping strategy from time to time. You want to use multiple shipping carriers, right? You want to actually pick and choose between USPS, UPS, and FedEx, DHL, and USPS is kind of cool when it comes to if you are a budget-minded player, because this is the cheapest option for small and light packages. UPS, you have guaranteed express shipping, and for FedEx, you have Saturday delivery, among other things. FedEx does not charge additional fees for Saturday delivery. That's why we love them here at this show. You can also use shipping software. Again, a lot of those a lot of the e-commerce solutions that we have covered on this show come equipped. They come with shipping software integrated. Okay, you want to give your customers options. Customers love options. So when it comes to shipping, especially because when it comes to shipping, price and speed, you want to provide customers with at least a few different choices. So you can give them 3 options at a minimum, like free and slow, cheap and moderately paced around 5 to 7 business days, and fast and expensive. You want to get packaging materials for free. So many merchants are unaware that the USPS offers free boxes and envelopes to their customers. You can order this packing materials and have them delivered to your warehouse. Keep in mind that these boxes are intended to be used for USPS's priority mail. Okay? And make sure that your customers receive packages on time. And this goes a long way towards establishing your company, your clothing boutique online, as the reference in the industry. You can also implement something called last mile delivery. Okay, last mile delivery services let you ship one package through 2 different carriers, ultimately cutting down on shipping costs. So with last mile delivery, your packages ship first with a private carrier, UPS or FedEx, until they reach your customer's local post office, and from there, the USPS handles the delivery. Letting the USPS handle the last mile of your deliveries will add an extra day or so to your delivery time, but guess what? It will also eliminate the residential surcharges that you should have incurred with UPS and FedEx. You need to be clear about return shipping. And one thing you also want to think about is include branded and promotional inserts in all the packages. And don't spend too much time, folks, filling orders. Your main job should be managing your business, not filling orders. So if you spend a large portion of your time packaging and shipping orders, now is a great time to reevaluate your shipping strategy. Consider integrating with a solid shipping software program and or hiring additional help to tackle that overwhelming number of orders. Okay, this is very important. You need to think about funding your new online boutique. There are a couple of ways you can do this. There are a couple of ways. If you have no money, there are a lot of ways you can fund your online boutique. First, you can think about if you have personal savings. Okay, if not, ask around friends and family. You can pitch your online boutique to a friend or family member who has money to invest in a new business. Just because you know this person, however, doesn't mean that you should just casually ask for money. Instead, you want to prepare your pitch and have your business plan ready. And if you decide to move forward with a loan, make sure to have a contract with all the details in writing, folks. All parties need to agree to all terms of the contract before signing. You can also get money from something called a ROBS, a rollover as a business startup. So if you don't want to go the traditional loan route and you want to bypass paying interest or making monthly payments, consider a ROBS. So if you have a qualifying retirement account, you could leverage these funds to finance your startup business. And there are a few things you need to do. You need to create a new corporation. You need to create a qualified retirement plan. You need to roll over the retirement funds into the new C Corp plan, and you need to access your funds by purchasing stock in the corporation. And using a ROBS to fund your business is legal if done correctly. This is why a lot of business owners who choose this type of financing, they will hire a ROBS provider to ensure everything is done by the book. Okay, with a ROBS provider, you typically have to pay a setup fee as well as a monthly maintenance fee. You can also get personal loans to finance your online clothing store. You can get lines of credit. You can also think about purchase financing. So if you need extra time to pay your vendors, consider applying for purchase financing. With this kind of financing, you can get the money you need to purchase inventory, equipment, or other business necessities immediately while breaking the total amount into smaller, flexible payments. And what happens here is that with this kind of financing, the lender sends payment directly to your vendor. You'll then repay the lender the balance plus any fees and or interest on a weekly or monthly repayment schedule. Also think about vendor financing. So if you make sales on a platform like Shopify or PayPal, you may qualify for vendor financing. And here, what happens here is that the performance of your business is the most important qualifying factor. And often there are very low or no personal credit score requirements. So this may be a great option if you don't have a solid credit history. And you also may think about, you can get business and personal credit cards. This could be a great option, especially if you have credit cards that offer 0% introductory rates. You can also think about P2P lenders. We have covered P2P lenders on other shows. You want to think about crowdfunding platforms, and you also need to think about business loans for startups. I'm not really going to spend too much time on those topics because we have covered them extensively in other shows. So you might want to double check our catalog of videos about loans for small businesses, for startups, and that kind of good stuff. Number 10, folks. Number 10, most important, you need to think about promoting your business. You want to utilize and keep building your email list. Very important, right? Even in a brick and mortar store, it's important to have a strong email marketing strategy. So you want to collect as many email addresses as you can from customers, from prospective customers, people interested in your events, and this kind of this will really help your business in the long run. You want to boost your organic social presence. So with your online business, you want to take every opportunity to boost your digital engagement. So you can do this through social media. You can do this by actually signing up for a Google My Business account. This is fantastic. You also want to optimize your clothing boutique site for SEO. SEO stands for search engine optimization. And the cool thing here is that you're just trying to get free traffic from Google without any kind of promotion. You also want to create interesting, useful content, right? Great content is always a winner. It allows people to come back. It allows people to discover your brand. It allows people to discover your products and services, and actually be lifelong customers. You can, if you have the money for it, you might want to try out Google ads or Facebook ads, whatever ads, or even Twitter ads. It depends on where your target audience is, where your target audience hangs out at. All right. So using Google Ads for search engine marketing gives you an opportunity to bid on keywords so that you can show up first in search engine results pages. You also can advertise on social platforms, as I said before, Google, Twitter, LinkedIn, depending on the kind of audience you have. You can partner with complementary brands. This can help you. This can give you more visibility, more exposure, the ability to tap into new audiences, new markets. You want to make sure that you find a business with a similar target audience, but a complementary products. That way, each business partner is reaching a whole new yet relevant audience. Okay, let me give you an example. Let's say you sell outdoor gear. A relevant partnership could be with a brand focused on hiking shoes. Okay, try to participate also in online events and discussions. Consider using influencer marketing, for example, on TikTok or Instagram. If the influencers, if his or her appeal is in line with your audience, that's fantastic. Also, you can also leverage your offline stores. If you do have a brick and mortar business, if you have a brick and mortar clothing business, you can also actually leverage that offline store into your online store also. So consider offering flyers with promotion codes that your customers can share with friends and family who might not live near your physical store, so they can go online. All right, folks. So basically, this was it for today's conversation. So my point today was that with careful planning, strategic financing, and a little hard work, you can actually start and operate your own online boutique. Take the time to learn about local regulations, build your brand and websites, and you want to curate a collection of high quality products, and you will soon be on the road to becoming a successful entrepreneur. And so in today's show, I gave you 10 steps. 10 steps when it comes to starting a profitable clothing boutique online with no money and no inventory. Number 1, decide what to sell. Number 2, you want to write a business plan. 3, you want to source inventory. 4, you want to register your business. 5, you want to create an online store. 6, you want to choose a payment and shopping cart solution. 7, you want to build your website. 8, you want to establish shipping logistics. 9, you want to fund your new online boutique. And number 10, last but not the least, you need to think about promoting your business. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.